Well, good evening, everybody. It's the year 2006, and Jimmy, oh boy, it's time for some good old-fashioned Liberty Center butt-kicking football.
Oh, Spike, a lot of iron has been hoisted. Athletes have made their commitment. They've paid their dues. They've suffered a summer conditioning program, and it's time to line it up and get it on.
All right, coming through the line, we got Tate Slee, number 25. Hesterman, 84. Well, too many numbers to try to grab all at once. We got number 23, Ryan Sager. Jimmy, the Tigers have been beat up a little bit in this preseason, but things are starting to come back around. Tate Slee got a hand problem now that's straightening up. Hesterman's starting to recover from some leg problems, and numerous other nicks and bumps and grinds, but I think they're going to be ready.
Yeah, they had a couple of pretty tough scrimmages, Spike, and of course that's time when the coaches look and see, well, who can play and maybe who needs a little more seasoning. But boy, this is just a wonderful opportunity. It's a home game. It's right here. The weather's good. I'm sure we're all looking for a lot of those sophomores to fill in around those juniors and seniors that are going to be doing their best to lead this edition of the Tigers, and they're talented. There's a lot of numbers down there in those younger grades, so we're going to see some of that unfold here tonight.
Yeah. Definitely a sophomore freshman heavy team. Rex has made the comment it's probably his youngest team in his 22-year tenure at Liberty Center. But you know, after the first game, that doesn't matter anymore. The youth, it doesn't matter. You've played, you've got a little bit under your belt, you've practiced, now you're ready for the big time. And the tradition at Liberty Center, of course, is going to carry them a long way too. Tinora, like you've mentioned or going to mention about their record against Liberty Center, the Tigers are at home. The Tigers have a lot going for them in the way of senior leadership, albeit a small senior class, but you got two of the league's finest football players in Tate Slee, number 25, linebacker, running back, and Hesterman, number 84, who will play a tight end on offense and kind of a offensive, outside linebacker on defense, and part of the time at defensive end, but Liberty Center are going to play a little bit different this year. They're going to go with a 3-4/3-5 defense according to what they want to do. You're going to see a robust defense, a rambling, gambling, in-your-face type defense this year.
Yeah, no question, Spike. Those boys you mentioned, Tate Slee and Hesterman, will be counted on heavily to lead out there. And boy, those two boys got her done as well as did their teammates last year. But that edition of Tiger football is behind us, and we're going to see what these guys can do right here coming up shortly. We have dominated this series. This is something that Tigers have won 13 out of the last 15 times they've met, and I see no reason why that shouldn't continue tonight, Spike.
Absolutely. All right, Evan Tiplady going to handle the kickoff chores. High end over end kick. That's going to come down all the way at about the 7-yard line. Fumbled around into the end zone. A touchback, and the Tigers have done their job on the first special teams play of the year, putting Tinora in a hole back at their 20-yard line.
No question, Spike. A real deep kickoff can give the cover guys time to get down there, and likely as not pin them pretty deep. I think it surprised Tinora. They weren't expecting that kind of leg out of that long, slim quarterback, but he shows he can kick that ball.
Yeah, Evan Tiplady's a man, and he's going to prove it this year to the Tiger fans, taking over the quarterback chores. All right, Tigers on defense. Tinora setting up in a standard wing set. A little juke and a jive and pickup of a couple yards. The Tigers closed very well on that play, Jim. Looked like a big hole.
Yeah, Brandon Butler, number 35 out there as a linebacker, just missed him in the backfield. I didn't catch who made the stop there, but anyway, 7, 8 yards there on the first line from scrimmage.
Okay, Tinora comes in with set wide to the wide side of the field, this side. They're going to fake, now rolling out, looks downfield, throws, caught, tackled immediately, short of a first down. Yep, tackled by Slee, number 25.
Yeah, you got to love that. I believe it was number 84 for the Tigers out there.
Hesterman.
He couldn't get there to pressure too much, but he was able to jump and that makes it a little harder to complete a pass. You just love that kind of effort, Spike.
Yep.
You can't maybe be there physically all the time, but you can sure create some obstacles.
All right, now the Tigers set up in that three-man front, although they put 9 men up in the box. 3rd and 1. The quarterback keeper has running room and gets it across the 35-yard line up to the 38. First down of the game goes to the Tinora Rams. Tinora comes in with a lot of experience. They've really got it over Liberty Center in that department. Liberty Center will have to depend on their heart's gut and Tiger glory here to help offset that experience advantage.
Yeah, Damian Mays on the stop there, but big running play right there, Spike. Keeps it going for Tinora.
Well, a sophomore-oriented defensive backfield for Liberty Center, so the Tigers try to make up for that in other ways. Now a spread formation to the left. Quarterback rolls left, has time, throws high, out of the reach of the intended receiver, number 5, Andrew Batt. Batt, a 6'4", wideout, so a big target there, but overthrown. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 10:20 to go here in the first quarter. No score.
He had a little breathing room out there, too, so if that quarterback was more accurate, that could have been another big gain there for the Rams.
Yep,
but,
true story.
It's just amazing to see, Spike, in the very early goings. The cover guys aren't quite sure just how tight to play their receiver. They don't know what kind of moves they're going to see.
Yep. Now Hesterman from his linebacker spot is up on the line of scrimmage. Tigers show a little blitz in the backfield, and I think there may have even been a fumble, but nevertheless a big loss.
Yeah, it's Chad McClory there.
Who was in on that, Jim?
Chad McClory, number 57, right there at the point of attack. I know he had help there, but yes, sir, Chad McClory, a junior linebacker, making his presence known right there for the loss.
Yep. Now he's one that's been had some injury problems, but he's made his way back into the lineup on a rotating basis. All right, Tigers now get the defense set. They show a 5-man line. Here's a give off the left side, and he's sacked in the backfield. Takes 3, pours the coals to him. Kahoon!
Oh yeah, it was apparent the Tigers had a good rush on there, a good blitz package, and man, they poured right through, Spike. So
yep, there it is, Jimmy. The rambling, gambling defense we mentioned in the pregame comes to light there. A 7-yard loss on the sack.
Yeah, that'll roll it clear back to 4th down and 19 yards to go.
Jimmy, I think they were setting up a screen pass of some kind, so that baby is a saccarino. All right, back in punt formation. Mays back. He's going to take it right there just short of the 40. Fumbles the ball, looks for room, nothing there. Jim, when that kid gets to break into the open territory, look out, because he has some return ability.
Yes, I understand that, Spike. And, of course, right there in his first opportunity, you have to catch the ball before you can run with it. And,
yep.
And he stayed right on it, so no harm done.
Well, and sometimes maybe that's the best way to go. You don't want to fumble, but hey, he dropped it. Next time now, he knows what it takes. All right.
Well, you got to get those butterflies out of your stomach somehow or other there, you know.
Absolutely.
So the offensive set here for the Tigers. Here we go, Spike.
All right. Slee the fullback. Butler the running back. Hefflinger in motion. Here's the give to Slee. Slee tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Has enough forward progress to battle, or enough forward momentum to battle his way up from just beyond inside the 40 up to about the 43. So we'll call it a long 3-yard gain for Liberty Center.
Yep, running off that block by his senior cohort there, Hesterman.
Yep. Tigers with a 2 tight end set. Hefflinger wing back left, goes motion right. Here is the give to Slee, trying to find running room. Good penetration by Tinora. So maybe a loss of a half a yard on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and long for Liberty Center. Number 35, Butler, looked real good in the scrimmage against Anthony Wayne. But now coming out, I think the Tigers will go with a wide out set. They've got number 24, Dan Irving, a sophomore, split out wide to the far side. And now Mays in motion. Rolling out, has time, now fires. He's got Mays open, caught! Mays with the big catch inside the 40, down inside the 35-yard line. A big gain for the Liberty Center aerial offense.
Yes, sir. Tip lady to Damian Mays out there. Made it happen there. Looked like in order to get past that on-rusher, he jumped to make that pass, but still delivered it right where it needed to be, Spike.
Now, Jimmy, I'll trade that little bobble on the kickoff for the big catch there. A 24-yard over the top gain, and the Tigers in business at the Tinora 34-yard line. Now Mays in motion. Here's the pitch deep to Slee. Looking for running room. Cuts it back. And wisely enough, they had the outside hemmed in, so Slee turned it back, picked up a yard against the stiff Tinora Ram rush defense so far.
Yep, nothing doing there, Spike. But as you say, Tigers set up with excellent field position here in the early going of the first quarter.
7-17 here in the first period, no score.
Okay,
Tinora with one possession, one first down and a punt, and the Tigers with a first down in Tinora territory.
Yep, Brandon Butler in for Damian Mays.
All right, they go with the wing T offense. Butler, the running back, leading the way for Slee. The deep pitch, Slee looks for running room, and again, deep penetration, good penetration by Tenora's defensive line. Number 67, Lane Schrader.
Yeah, also
6'3", 190-pound lineman knifing in.
76 for the Rams was also in there. You know, think about it, Spike. Tate Slee gained 1,000 yards last year for the Tigers. And also scored 15 touchdowns, so he would be a marked man out there.
Yeah. Now the Tigers with their pass offense are going to get to Slee on a little crossbuck. Slee battles and tries to stay on his feet. Uh-oh. Now they're going to say Liberty Center kept it. Slee had picked up about three or four awfully tough yards, and then apparently fumbled it backwards a couple. But on fourth down, the Tigers retain possession. Now we're going to see a decision. Does the coaching staff want to punt here and try to pin him deep? Or 4th and 10, do we go for it?
It's a long 10 yards to make, but I see him going for it, Spike.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Jimmy, old boy. Tigers line up with the double wing package. Slee the lone setback. And now we're going to get, I believe, a Tiger. I don't see an indication it was Liberty's call on the timeout, but we'll see here. Yeah, Liberty Center with the timeout. 6:17 to go here on the Pepsi-Cola scoreboard. No score.
Boy, Spike, so far you just have to love the way Evan Tiplady Sr. with absolutely no repetitions from the varsity line of scrimmage, to my knowledge.
Right.
Actually having command out here, making a good pass when he needs to, and handling that ball off just as smoothly as you please.
Now, I agree. He's a smooth customer, Jimmy, like you alluding to there. And I think that's part of his mental makeup. He's the man that's ready for the job. I know the football team has his backing. They like the things he's done for them so far. They're coming out. They decided after the timeout they are going to go for it. They line up with a double receiver set to the left. There's a drop back. Tiplady has to roll, has to get rid of it. In trouble. Keeps it alive. Throws deep. And almost caught a great job. A great effort by Hesterman on the dive. And also a great job on the scramble to stay alive by Evan Tiplady.
Oh, it was.
A little bit of moxie, Jimmy boy.
Yeah, he looks like he's pretty good on his feet. He's a tall, rangy guy, but man, he was dancing out there pretty good with those white shirts bearing down hard at him as he kind of rolled to the sideline. Somehow he thought, yep, I see Hesterman out there, so he gave her a shot out there, but got to be careful on no Spike.
Well, good thing about it, it was fourth down. He threw it deep. His escapability allowed him that extra split second to find the open man, or just find what he hoped to be an open man.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, there's no point in being a hero. If it's
That's
not
right.
there, don't take it, eat the ball, and let the defense play.
All right, roll out, first play, caught, and a good open field tackle by Damian Mays.
Yep, Damian Mays sure stopped there.
Well, gain of about, we'll call it 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up second down and a short 4 for the Tinora Rams on the Liberty Center 42-yard line. 5:48, first quarter. Each team with one first down, one possession.
Spike, looking across there at that chain gang, are there any new faces this year?
Well, you've got the mastermind himself, Mr. Man with 41 years of experience off to the side. That's all you need to say. Met and hit right there. I believe Hesterman might have met him head on. Or no. Or was that 64?
I think Weekers. Or Perchlick. Excuse me. Jake, we'll get it right after a while.
Well, now we've got a 64 on the field.
Yeah, Perchlick's out there, and so's
no 64
Weekers
in the program.
Is it? Oh. He is Perchlick,
all
yeah.
Right, we got that straight. Perchlick is 64.
Right.
As opposed to the 17 in the program. All right, 3rd down and 1. Quick give, the quarterback battling, and I think second effort got him across. And enough for a first down. Tigers had good penetration, didn't get the tackle on the first hit, and that was enough to get the second Tinora Ram first down. So they'll have the ball on the Liberty Center 46, 4:40 to go here, first quarter. No score. Well, Jimmy, I think part of it is obviously each team has to find their own identity on offense and defense both. And Liberty Center right now, trying to get figured out what they've got to do, how they've got to work in relation with their teammates.
Exactly. Figuring on the first game there, it's like, well, what is my assignment? That kind of thing.
Oh, fumble in the backfield. That ball's loose. It appears that Tinora kept the ball, but on the pitch sweep, ball fumbled, and it'll be a loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12 back at the Tinora's own 44.
Yeah, Joe Bodenbender going in there, and also Jacob Howard now, number 20 and number 27 reporting for duty as it's 2nd down and about 12 yards.
Yep. All right, Tigers show 7 men up in the box. Their sophomore defensive backfield now spread across the 50-yard line. Here's the deep drop back, pressure by Hesterman, caught out there behind the line of scrimmage. A great block, and Tinora Rams are going to work hard, pick up a first down, tackle finally made by Perchlick.
Yeah,
number 64.
Damian Maz was handled by a real excellent Tinora Ram block right here in front of a Spike, about on the 50-yard line. And that gave him a little elbow room to get a few yards on that play.
Yeah, they actually caught it, like we said, a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, but were able to work out of that. And with a couple of good downfield blocks, they pick up about 16 yards on the play, and Tinora in business with 3:12 to go, first period, with a 1st and 10 on that Tiger 40. Under center, give off the left side, met right away, maybe a yard on the play, nose diving in there.
57, Chad McClory.
Yep. Like we said, Chad McClory, one of them junior. The Tigers, with a lot of talented juniors, they're going to count on them heavily also, and McClory definitely one of those.
Yeah, he was mentioned, the coach mentioned some players that they're going to count on them pretty heavily, and Chad McClory being one of them. You said he had an injury last year?
Yeah, I know he's been hurt in the preseason, so they've been kind of nursing him along. All right, motion to this side of the field. Now the fake, the drop back. Oh, they stick it to him again. Boy, the Tigers with another big play, and it's McClory spearheading that hard Tiger rush.
Right, Derek Heffwiner, number 3, also right there to clean up on that sack, but that's the way to take a pass play away, Spike, is pressure, and it was there.
Boy, a 7-yard loss on the sack. Now Tinora faced 3rd down and 17. The ball back at the Liberty Center 47. A minute 55 left here, first period.
Well, this is likely going to put pressure on that green secondary for the Tigers. Can they defend on the pass? But we got to have more rush.
All right, motion, they fake. Now they give it back up inside. And nothing again there. Tiger defense holds strong when they have to.
Yep.
Tate Slee from his inside linebacker spot, knifed inside, got a hand on the back of the jersey and held on till help came.
Yes, sir. Good defense there by our Tigers. That was an amazing call. I mean, with about 16, 18, whatever yards to get there to move the sticks.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Little running play up the gut there isn't going to do it.
No, and from Tinora's standpoint, they didn't need to get it all, Jim, if they only got 8 or 10. It set them up for 4th down. Now a low snap, the punt, low end over end punt. Mays comes up, makes a difficult catch. No running room there as he maybe picked up 2 or 3 yards on the return.
Yeah, but a good, sure-handled reception there. And those are hard punts to handle, Spike. That ball never got 10 feet above the ground. That was a line drive spinning at him there, and he caught it first and then tried to advance it.
And the key there was he went ahead and made the catch, tried to make the play, because if he lets it go, well, we're looking at getting pinned down around our own 5-yard line.
Yep, so you got to have plenty of nerve back there, but somehow you got to be sure-handed. I don't know how you make that all happen.
All right, Slee and Butler in the backfield. Here's the pitch to Slee, looking to get outside. He's got a little bit of running room, stays on his feet, rolls over one of the tacklers, and that helps pole vault him practically, vault him up ahead for a gain of, we're going to call it about 5 on the play. A short 5 yards. It'll be, we'll call it second down and 5 for Liberty Center. The ball at Tenora's 23.
Running out of time here in the first quarter, Spike. They've had quite a struggle out here, but so far the points are not had.
All right, 30 seconds clock running. This will probably be the last play of the first quarter. Hefflinger now goes in motion to the far side. Here's a give to Slee again. Slee pounding his way ahead. Boy, I don't know, maybe a yard on the play. That'll bring up third down and about 5 to go. 14 seconds clock running here in the first period. Each team now with 2 possessions and neither team able to really sustain any sort of long drive. Yep, the clock will run out as the Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. All right, now while we get a chance here, we're going to pick up some of our sponsors as we have time. As always, one of the originals, we've got Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry right uptown in Tiger Town.
I don't know
Tiger
if I can
Shop
eat
with
and talk
Bob and
to.
Julie
I better not. You'll have one.
Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler, and KK Collision with Kyle Kern. And a new one to the market this year. As I say market, it's the Rail Side Meat Market with Bob Miller and company. Bob doing a great little business down there. Great selection of meat and cheeses and a lot of other sundries, I guess you might say. So Bob becoming well known in the area for his selection and his service. Also, one of the originals, the Henry County Bank. Swanton Welding with Ryan and the Zider with Norm and Ryan Zider. The Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini. Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy Hill. Trucker's Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke. The Sky Bank in Liberty Center. Pisanello's Pizza with Craig and Sherry Myers. Home of the slice of pizza to go for $1. Then their twice-a-day buffet from 11 to 2 and 5 to 8. Also, Speece Trailer Court with Rick Speece. B.A. Miller & Sons Trucking with Norma Miller. L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown. Davis Farm Services in Delden Liberty with Grandma Karen, Uncle Kurt, Kelly and Todd. Schaefer Truck and RV Sales.
All right, here we go,
Trucking. All right, here is the fake. Slee keeps it. And doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of half a yard, but that's going to bring up 4th down. So the Tigers trying to keep it rather vanilla, and so far the Rams, Jim, I think have done a great job of keying on Tate Slee.
Oh, yeah.
And Tate has yet to be able to get anything out into the open.
That's a very good observation there, Spike. I'm sure the yards per carry there for Tate is not got to add up right now.
Uh-oh. Flag on the play. Punt taken there at the 45-yard line.
Oh.
Tigers knifing and slicing and diving through there, finally brought down.
Boy, I thought I saw
I'm not sure, maybe Tate Slee.
Spike, I thought I saw a block in the back there by the Rams. I mean, it didn't result in the kid getting really clobbered or anything, but he definitely was on the wrong side of that block. But what about that early flag, Spike? They're sorting that out?
Yeah, they procedure Liberty Center.
Yeah.
Now Tinora, they've got field position at the Tiger 49-yard line. I would be surprised that they accept the penalty. I didn't get the number of the punter, Jim.
No, I didn't catch that either.
Oh, they're going to Liberty kick it again.
Well, we've seen that backfire. year, Bob Black had a whale of a leg. 44 was the punter.
Yeah, Wes Shoemaker.
Yeah, Wesley Shoemaker did some excellent catching duty for the Tiger baseball team this past spring.
Yeah, he's an excellent athlete. As a junior, Liberty expects some big things. All right, now the Tigers back in punt formation from their own 19-yard line. One receiver. That's an end over end. That's taken there at the 50-yard line. And the Rams are going to just about wind up at the same spot, so the Tigers overcome the extra 5 yards. Tinora will take over at the Tiger 49.
Yep, plus they get a little more practice on their punt coverage, Spike. And, you know, every repetition they get in a certain situation has got to be positive, especially if something bad doesn't come of it. You know, I mean, like if they don't allow a big play or whatever, then they're more sure of where they're supposed to be, of how they're supposed to run down there, under control, but still get there, you know. And it just looks good so far.
All right, Jordan Badu, one of them in there on the tackle. Now man in motion coming this way, gives straight ahead, second back. Tigers swarm all over that, but a hole and a drive, and that's going to be good for about a 5-yard Ram game.
Yep, Joe Boatbender finally put final tackle on him there, but boy, that's a pretty good rambling run there for the Ram.
Yeah, Joe Bodenbender, that's a name synonymous with Liberty Center football excellence. All right, we'll call it a 6-yard gain, 2nd down and 4, 10:39, second period. Each team with 2 possessions, nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Now Tinora with their 3rd possession in Tiger territory. They show a wide out to this side. Tigers show 5-man up on the line. Here is a little play action. Not much running room there, and the tackle made by Hesterman.
Yep.
Well, maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, that was good defense there by the Tiger right side. It was a little quarterback put it into the swinging back and then pull it out and then follow him. Well, Tigers just go all over that one.
All right, big play for the defense. High backfield set. And they don't get it off. Yeah, a lot of people calling for too much time up here in the press box. And they got the call in the nick of time. And, Jim, that's a big play, if you want to call it that, for the Liberty defense.
That's right. It was 3rd and 3 right there, a short 3. And they'd maybe been looking at another 1st down. Instead, we're going to make it 3rd and 8.
Oh, that for the Rams' point of view, that's a tremendously painful penalty.
Yep.
You just can't afford to lose those 3rd and 2s and 3rd and 3s.
No, they had a drive going, and that could have been pretty tough on it. But, boy, you're right. That just took a long time unfolding. And Tom Fry, Sage sports writer for the local paper, had that sniffed out.
I formation, motion to the far side, to the wide side. Quarterback rolls that way, pump fakes, now fires upfield. Well out of the reach of their top receiver, number 5, Andrew Batt. Coverage there by Damian Mays.
Yeah.
And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, pretty mobile quarterback. He was rambling out there, hard to get any kind of hard pressure on him, but the coverage was there, Spike. He had to just float that one out of bounds.
Yep. Well, and I think what they're trying to do is they're not going to drop back in the pocket because they know, I believe, that they cannot do that against Liberty's pass rush. So they're sending 2 backs through, picking up some blitzers, and then using the rollout to set things up. Now back, they're going to line up in punt formation. Now Mays comes up, now drops back. Here's the Ram punt. Kind of a wobbler. It's going to hit it to 15 and take a good Tinora bounce. Tigers never really had much of a chance to return that. Tigers only had 1 man back. They rightfully so wanted to be very ready for a possible fake punt. Yeah. And the Tigers will take over at their 15-yard line.
Yeah, I agree, Spike. The way they had Damian Mays out there, he was kind of protecting against the right side of the field and, didn't even have a hard effort at, basically being a safety in case they wanted to make a pass or something. So.
Yep. Well, now we've seen Liberty Center with the football and have yet to make much of a dent in the Tinora Ram defense. This might be the series, Jim, where they maybe pop a little something different out there. They've got Sager in the backfield. Slee, though, takes the handoff straight ahead, gets up around the 15-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 3.
Yep, I believe Evan Tiplady, Tiger quarterback, has completed one of the 2 passes he's attempted. Is that the way you have it at this point, Spike?
Yeah. But a good positive gain on first down. We'll call it second down and 7 from the Tigers' own 15. 8:52 to go. Tigers show a double wide out. Hefflinger now back in motion toward the football. Here's the pitch to Slee. He's got a little running room, kicks it outside, breaks a tackle, stops up. He's out in the open. He's got a corner to blockers. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30. He's at the 20, the 10, the 5. One more block thrown there by Tigers. And Slee is into the end zone. 85 yards of Tiger glory right there on one play, baby. Liberty Center takes the lead. It's a Tiger touchdown.
Oh, yeah, Spike, just when we were saying that Slee's average per carry wasn't doing too much because they pretty well had him bottled up, he pops that one, and then such a beautiful run, and plenty of blockers to give him the escort, and the number 5, the Fleet receiver, had the angle on him, so he had to do a little dance down here and let him miss, and then into the end zone.
Yep, Ryan Sager with that final block to spring him in. Now the extra point kick is up, down the middle, and it is good! Wow. Number 71, Tony Smith. On tackle, defensive end, steps up to the plate, pounds it right through the uprights, and a big play there, 7-0, Liberty Center. And Jimmy, when you talk about that yards per carry, baby, it all looks a lot better now.
Oh, yeah, a play or two like that makes the night. How many yards are we going to give him on that touchdown run?
That was officially 85 yards.
Boy, that means he's going to be using a little oxygen.
So we don't have a name, but it has to be. Is it him?
Who?
57.
Yeah, McClory.
McClory, Chad McClory.
He doesn't have a name on his back.
Oh, yeah, that's who it is, Jack.
Yeah.
Okay, after that scintillating, exciting touchdown burst by Tate Slee, 8:32 to go. Tigers lead 7-0 as they prepare to kick off. All right, a few more of our sponsors here. Miller Brother Trucking with Skip Miller, Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender, and Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell, and also Bob Jurasic. Now the low line drive kick taken there at the 17-yard line. Blockers ahead. Breakthrough. Breaks one tackle and finally brought down
35. Brandon Butler. Boy, that was a kind of a saving tackle there, Spike. That long-legged guy, he gets a little more green expanse to run to, and that could have been a big number for Tinora on the scoreboard.
Yep, number 27, Joe Bodenbender, knifed in and nailed him somewhere in that ankle area to slow him down, and then, of course, excuse me, Brandon Butler to finish him off. Now the gives, little cross, but, oh, buddy, oh no, you take that somewhere else. Net head on.
Yeah, Brandon Butler once again in the mix there. Little struggle going out there yet with number 13.
Yeah, Butler listed as one of the linebackers. It depends on the Tiger set. They go with the basic 3-4 or the 3-5. And, of course, Butler is going to see a lot of action as one of those Tigers LBs.
Lots of 2 on that play.
Yep, big play there. Second down and 12 now. 7:50 to go, second period. Rolling out to his right. Now they're going to keep it. Tigers get him hemmed in, stopped and slowed down. A gain of maybe 4 on the play, but a good Tiger defensive charge. Hefflinger, number 3, at the bottom of the pile. Also Hesterman in on that, and Mays over there in the area. Jimmy, awful hard to sort them out.
I know it. That's where in the future we'll have some more equipment that'll give us a better view on that. But, you know, the guy who made the tackle was being blocked, and he was on the ground. He was on his knees.
Wow.
And so I'd bet Hesterman had something to do with that out there.
All right, that brings up third down and 7 for Tinora. The ball at their own 48. Now play action running this way, in trouble, throw short, and a great Tiger pass rush.
Yeah, number 74, we haven't called his name out there yet, Brandon Neff.
Yep,
yes.
Brandon Neff. He's in there as one of the backup defensive people.
Big 6-foot, 190-pounder, a sophomore, making his presence known on that charge to the quarterback.
Yep, they use him sometimes as a defensive end on the weak side. Tigers, Jim, even though we keep hearing about how young they are, they've got some depth. They've got some things they can move around.
Yep.
Now Tinora will show a probable punt here from, the 44. Low punt taken there. Now they're going to fake it. Throw upfield, caught. That's a first down and more. And finally brought down, a great open field tackle by Damian Mays. But the Tinora Rams steal a page out of the Liberty Center playbook, and now they're back in business.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to the Ram offense on that. We had them stopped. It was going to be a punt. It was about a 4th and 6, and boy, a quick lateral back there and a strike from the Ram quarterback out there. And
well, you know, it was a low snap, so I'm not sure that it was a set play until the ball bounced. But now the Rams back in business at the Tiger 34. Now we're going to get a 15-yard penalty tacked on after that.
I don't know.
Must have been some kind of a late hit, a pile. Holy mackerel, how far is he going to go? He must have walked 20 yards.
I don't know.
Gee, now the ball is down to the 19-yard line of Liberty Center. 6:50 to go here, second period.
Well, Tiger defense has got to shake the cobwebs out and come up strong here.
Well, they've got the 7-0 lead, but that now could be in jeopardy. But a good test for Liberty Center here in the first half. You might as well bring it on and know what you're up against. All right, double wing package, lone setback. Motion this way. Now the deep pitch to the motion man. Tigers seem to have that covered up. Now breaks into the clear, and that's a Tinora Ram touchdown. Wow, Jim, what the game can change on a nickel. And right there, we've got a 7-6 ball game on the Rams score from 19 yards out.
Yeah, Tiger defense had them stopped out here, on the 45-yard line or thereabouts, and looked like it was going to be punt time, and Tiger offense would be back out there. But a little trick play and a little good fortune with that. As you say, the center snap to that punter was almost a grounder. He fielded on a bounce. Quick lateral to the quarterback, and then threw a strike, and here they are.
All right, we'll get some more Tiger sponsors here while they line up for the extra point kick. We've got Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency with Glenn in the Napoleon office, Bob and Marge Jurasics in Liberty Center. Ken and Robin Carpenter. Here's the kick block by Slee. Oh, a big play.
Yes, sir.
A low snap, the trajectory never got really up, and Slee was all over that. I don't think it would have mattered. Slee broke through. Jimmy, that could play a big influence on the outcome of this ball game right there.
Spike, that's some of that senior leadership, the little things. It's a game every snap. You go all out, you don't ho-hum, well, it's just a point after, no, you go out, you sell out on every play. And Tate Slee showing what he's made of.
Yep, that's a big one. All right, now, the teams exchange touchdowns. Now the Tigers will come out. They'll get the ball on offense. And I think in this final 6 minutes of the second quarter, I think we can expect right now to start to see some of the true Liberty Center Tiger heart, some of their abilities, and their will to win can come out here on this particular series.
Oh, Spike, Tigers have always been known for their execution, especially when it counted. When you look at the scoreboard, and you have a certain time frame to work within, these Rex Lindgren teams of the recent past, I mean, they know how to use that clock, and I surmise you're exactly correct.
All right, Rams set up to kick off here. 6:23 to go, second period, 7-6, Liberty leads. Short end over end kick. That's going to take a bounce, picked up by Mays at the 20-yard line. Tries to cut outside, slips one tackle, finally brought down at about the 32-yard line. 12-yard return for Damian Mays. Tigers take over there.
Yeah, it was Derek Heffliner and Damian Mays as the deep guys there. Brandon Butler, number 35, almost stepped up and flagged that ball down. I think he could have caught it. But, you know, the way they practice it, the deep men are supposed to rein that in, and the rest of the guys try and provide some blocking.
All right, now, Liberty Center has almost exclusively used Tate Slee out of the backfield. Now Ryan Sager back there teamed up with Slee. So Liberty's offense may become just a little more, and sure enough, Sager with the handoff fights his way forward after being blasted a couple times, gets up to about the 34, gain of a couple on the play, second down and 8.
Damian Mays in, Ryan Sager out for this next play, Spike.
All right, Tigers may look to open up the offense. They may try to go wide here a little bit, or maybe throw out wide to this side. Number 24, Dan Irving for the Tigers. Now Damian Mays in motion. He's going to take the handoff. Halfback pass if it's there. Nope. He's hemmed in, stays on his feet, still battling, and fights his way back up for regain a couple of those yards.
Yeah, looks to me that was a halfback option pass with 24, Dan Irving, streaking along the sideline here, but boy, that opportunity just didn't quite present itself with all those white shirts coming up pretty fast.
Right. Now Liberty Center faces, about a third down and 15 from their own 28. Tigers may look to get part of it back here. If nothing else, is to gain a little field position. Slee the lone setback. Double wingback package, Sager in motion. Here's the rollout. Ooh, throws down deep. He's got Irving open. Great catch. He's on the 20. He's on the 10. And finally brought down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And I want to tell you, a tremendous grab in traffic.
I tell you, that senior quarterback won me over in a heartbeat there. I mean, he was being clobbered from his blind side, and that guy was on him. He'd already made contact on Tip Lady. Tip Lady throws a strike down there. Dan Irving reels that in somehow.
Oh, Jimmy, that's a great catch. The kid's hand, it was all over him, and Irving somehow had the will and the desire and the athletic ability to haul it in. Now the Tigers knocking on the door. First and goal at the 8-yard line. Here's the give to Slee, powering off the left side. Gain of maybe one on the play. It'll bring up second down and goal from the 7-yard line, we'll call it.
Yeah, one of those several sophomores that are really manifesting themselves into this first contest here. Dan Irving, 5'10", 140-pound sophomore, getting her done here, Spike.
Oh, boy. Well, that's two great catches now by the Tiger offense. Tigers now come out with Slee, the fullback, Sager, running back, left side. Hefflinger's out wide to the left. Irving over here. Now the pitch to Slee, trying to get outside. Looks for running room. He cuts it up inside. He's close. He's into the end zone. It's a Tiger touchdown. It's a Tiger touchdown. Takes Slee blast off the left side. Powering his way. Made the cut. Crossed the goal line. Into glory land. Tigers go up 13-6.
Yeah, there's good blocking over there on that left side, but Slee wasn't to be denied. And I mean, that's just the kind of strength and power that guy runs with. I mean, if you want a piece of him, you better be ready to bring it all, plus 2 or 3 buddies.
All right, Hefflinger the holder. Here's the snap, good hold, kick up, and good! Number 71 powers it through again. Tony Smith.
Well, Spike, you just have to love it when the Tiger offense can answer. Tinora had a good drive of their own, you know, whatever it took to get her down there, and they hung up a 6. Tigers couldn't wait to get their hands on the ball again, and they marched the field with a good pass and just execution like we were kind of alluding to.
Jimmy, that is sweetness.
And you know when they were down there that close, somehow, some way, they were going to get her done, and they didn't delay very long about it.
Okay, now the normal Tiger offensive left side. Stacy's at center. Number 54, Weekers, the guard. And Adam Quigley, the strong side tackle out on that, the tight end on that side. The tackle on that side is Honacki. And the Tigers powered off that. Tate Slee was able to cut it up. He got to about the line of scrimmage and then made the great cut back through the grain.
Yeah, he had some contact there, but as you mentioned there, you got to give credit to that left side Tiger line because they created an avenue in which Slee could get up a good head of steam and thus into the end zone.
That is like smelling blood, and Tate Slee definitely smelled blood there.
Yeah.
All right, 3:57 to go here in the first half. Two big Tiger plays, and they take a 14-6 lead. We'll be back for the kickoff. Tip lady, end-over-end floater, heads down to the left corner. Picked up there at about the 10-yard line. Tinora able to break a tackle, and they got decent return yardage out of that. Jim, that kick, I didn't get exactly. I think it might have been inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it actually, he fielded over there on the 5, but he didn't get a lot of elevation on it, and Tiger coverage wasn't quite there. Again, he reeled it in, and a couple blocks early on. But, you know, you just want to get one in the win column when you start the season. There's something like 700 teams or over 700 teams across the state, and the trip begins. It begins tonight. Generally speaking, there are probably some Saturday games sprinkled around, but you just want to get it. And then there's things to work on, things to always improve.
Oh, absolutely. Tiger coach said this is definitely a building game. Now met right at the line of scrimmage, but the pump fake and the keeper play gets up across the 30.
Yeah, Tate Slee, once again, showing he's absolutely indispensable. And you say he's just coming off of a hand injury.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they got that hand padded up a little bit out there because he's obviously using everything he's got.
Yep, almost. He was off for between 10 days and 2 weeks, and so pretty much coming into this almost blind. All right, Tinora shows motion this way, give to the second back, trying to cut it up. Nothing doing there. Tigers with great penetration. At the bottom of the pile, Tate Slee. The PA gives Irving credit.
Yeah, and also Sager for help on the tackle there. Look to the Tigers to keep their eye on the clock, Spike. It's a healthy 2.5 minutes plus to go here yet. And if they can get a stopper here, they may want to start a timeout here and there.
All right, Jordan Badu now, number 9, into the Tiger lineup. Rolling right, good pressure. Now gets it outside. Badu fights off a tackle, but good move by the quarterback on the scramble. He's going to get out of bounds, maybe a 5-yard gain, but it's going to be short of the first down. And with 2.5 to go here, clock stopped. Tinora facing a 4th down and 2. Number 35, Brandon Butler, back out on the field for Liberty Center.
23 in, 27 out. Joe Bodenbender out, and Sager back in there. Number 9 coming out, Jordan Badu. Some of that is, what defense do we want? And then they change their mind a time or two. And
Tinora going for it, 4th and 2. They may try to draw the Tigers off. Long count. They continue to call cadence. Now a timeout. Well, they didn't get the job done. The Tiger defense held true, Jimmy. A young team, first series, our first time that happens. Tigers hold up well.
Yeah, exactly, and there's got to be some sophomores in there too. And you know what's really good is there's 2 minutes and 31 ticks on there, and we didn't have to use a timeout.
Yes.
So there's plenty of time for the Tigers if they choose to mount a hard, quick drive.
Well, and as I think it's been the nature of Liberty Center teams, Liberty Center Lex Lindgren coach teams, that he does not sit on the ball with the final possession of a half. He will try to move the football down to the end zone.
Yeah, now we have to keep in mind, we thought we had them stopped last time there was a 4th down, and they turned that into a huge gainer on us. So if they're lined up to punt, I'm sure they're going to be well aware to be all eyes and ears up there.
Exactly. At this point, if they do punt and we don't have anybody back there, it's immaterial, because if you're going to have to go 65 yards for a score at the end of the half, so you go 70. I don't think it's that big a deal. So Liberty, I'm sure, will protect against any kind of a fake. But when you get burnt by that long enough...
Yeah, we used to do that pretty regular over the course of a season ourselves. So,
yeah, the Tinora coaching staff sees it enough that they get tired of it. They used it themselves. Well, they're going to set up to go for it. They show the standard wing tee set, get to the second back through, no play action. Oh, baby, he tries to shovel it, that's dropped. Liberty Center Tigers all over the field, all over Tinora. We've got a flag on the play, but Tinora Rams failed to convert in their fourth down chicanery.
Yep, I think that's the bottom line, Spike. I believe they had some movement there, and if that is indeed the case, it'll be Tiger ball.
Yep, Seth Weekers, number 54.
No, too many men in the field, I think.
Well, I didn't catch it, probably was. Okay.
Isn't that the old pat to head and point
I
toward?
think.
Yeah, man.
Seth Weekers, a great play all over the quarterback, but now goes for naught with the Tigers penalty.
Yep,
so now the Rams get a second chance, Jimmy.
Wow. Yeah. Hell, we'll allow the Tigers to make a mistake here and there, Spike. I mean, they sure have played when it was necessary out there.
Well, and Coach Lindgren, that was one of his stickler points. He says, I don't care if we have a mistake or two because I know it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But he said, we play football for 48 minutes. We're going to win the game.
Yep.
All right, now Tinora comes out now after that rejuvenating penalty, after the Tiger defense did a great job to stop them. Now the Rams come out. They're going to have a 1st and 10 at the Liberty 49-yard line, 2:25 to go. We've got an official's huddle here. I'm not sure what point in question is.
Yeah, I don't know why they'd have a big meeting there. Oh, I guess Tiger timeout here. Yeah, you know, before that last play in which Tinora was able to make that happen via penalty, we had people running in and out all the time. You kind of tried to set the defense, and boy, there were 2 or 3 changes, and somehow or other, one guy didn't get off.
Yeah, and that's going to happen, especially first game. Doesn't matter if you've got 28 seniors and 32 juniors, it's still going to be, occasionally that's going to come around.
Well, each defensive call necessitates a certain lineup to make that happen. And so, boy, coaches are grabbing guys and throwing them in there. And I don't know.
Well, now the coaching staff, I'm sure, they're having a long discussion here about rule interpretation. Well, the Tigers certainly didn't allow it, but Tinora able to pull off that big play on a 4th down fake. And now they get a second chance on a penalty we think was for illegal participation. So another chance. Now the Tigers brass has to be concerned about this young Tiger defense and the ability to hold here when they had the first half in their back pocket, so to speak. Now the give straight ahead, pounding, driving, and a gain of about 5 for the Tinora Rams straight up the middle. Clock running at 2:17 here in the second quarter, 14-6 Liberty Center on the strength of 2 big plays. Tinora, I believe they've got 2 timeouts remaining, so they've got time to mount a drive here, but the clock's starting to wind down, 1:54.
Yeah, we're going to see some passes here pretty doggone quick, Spike.
Out of the eye, here's a little play action fake. Nothing doing, they nail him in the backfield. That's a smackerino.
Yeah, 77 getting up there. Also Butler. Let's see who 77 is. Let's make him Honacki. Joe Honacki getting a nice piece of him.
Yeah, 57 McClory getting some penetration as well. So a loss on the play of about 1.5 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 5 yards to go.
As the clock runs, Spike.
Yeah, the clock now definitely a factor as Tinora with a very slow huddle. They come to the line of scrimmage. This tells me, Jim, they're probably going to throw, and they may try to go deep. Wing back set to the right. Here is play action. Here comes a pass rush. It's knocked down. It's bobbled incomplete. Tate Slee over that, along with number 57 McCoy.
Honacki. 77 was back here.
No, 50. Well, I thought it was McClory, 57.
Okay. Well, we got a couple.
Well, hey, I don't know. but the Tigers burst through that rambling, gambling defense.
Oh, boy, that's what you do is put pressure.
Out of that.
Landon says it was 57, so you're correct there. It was Chad McClory on that. But we've seen Honacki get in there, too, and when it's when that rush play is called, boy, I tell you, Tigers can get some heat.
All right, number 1 receiver. Back, spread out here at 6'4", to this wide side. Rolling back, he's going to throw to him short. Knocked down by Berto! Knocked down by Berto!
Yeah, 24 right there, too. Plenty of coverage there. Dan Irving was there, and I don't know who's the other guy, but
Jordan Berdu from his safety spot led the play, stepped up, got a hand on it from what would have been a probable catch and first down. So the Tigers come up with another defensive gem. 1:01 to go, and they stop the Tinora Rams at the 44-yard line of Liberty Center.
Yeah, sure, and they have possession, Spike. So
Jimmy,
with a minute to go, hold on to your hat.
I guarantee you the Liberty Center is not going to sit on the football. They've got Irving spread out wide to this side. Double wing back set, Slee the lone setback. Motion coming this way. Now they give to Slee up the middle. Tinora waiting for that, and that'll bring up second down on about a 2-yard gain. All right. Now, one good thing about this, Jim, Tigers let the clock wind down a little bit and then try to come up with that one big play. That doesn't give Tinora much of a chance to get the ball back. All right, now we've got Hefflinger and Mays out here wide to this side, Irving wide out to there, and the Tigers, as I guaranteed they would not do, they are going to play it safe, and that'll bring up third down. Clock stop, Tigers timeout with 24 seconds. Now a good place. We don't care if Tinora knows it may come. Now they may set up to throw the home run ball and get down deep.
Yeah, or they could just decide, you know what, it's been a pretty good half for Tigers. We like the scoreboard. We like how our kids are getting into it pretty good. So you never know. But 14-6, Spike, at this point, and I think a lot of Tiger fans are...
Oh, 3rd and 10. Dropping back, throws deep. He's got a man open. Hefflinger just off the fingertips on the leap to pull it in, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Incomplete pass down around the 33-yard line. Good effort by Hefflinger, who was open.
Yeah,
but
Tip Lady got a nice strong-armed ball out there too, Spike, and I think Hefflinger was also wondering where that sideline was coming up there real fast, and just off his fingertips.
Yeah, but the Tigers now have proven they have the ability to move the football overland and in the air. And now in punt formation with 18 seconds. Tinora with one deep receiver. They also playing for the fake. High punt. Fair catch called for and taken down there at the 23-yard line, I believe. So with 11 seconds to go, Tinora takes over.
Yeah, Wes Shoemaker clearly establishing that he is the Tiger punter for this football team.
Yeah, and working the kinks out that time, got the very preferred punt, the high wobbler that cannot be returned. Definitely a weapon in the Tigers' arsenal. So now Liberty Center with that primarily sophomore secondary will have to protect for 11 seconds here. Rams with time for maybe 2 plays from their own 23. They give straight ahead. He's got a little running room, kicks it to the outside, and enough for a first down. The clock will be stopped with 5 seconds to go. So Tinora with time for probably just one more play.
Chad McClory coming out on this next play. Done an excellent job out there, Spike.
All right. Timeout, Tinora. All right, 5 seconds left in the half. Liberty leads at 14-6. Tinora with their last play. Drop
Big
back,
pass.
thrown deep, and well underthrown. Irving with blanket coverage on the much taller Tinora Ram receiver.
Oh, he did. He had him just like a wet blanket. Had he known that pass was a wobbler and where it was, he could have turned on it and he made something happen. But you're supposed to cover your man, you cover your man.
There you go. Well, that puts the dot on the eye of Tiger to end this first half. Liberty Center with two big plays, setting up one touchdown, and Tate Slee's 85-yard burst the other. The Pat Irving 70-yard touchdown grab set up by the Tigers' second score by Slee. So at the end of the first half, Liberty Center leads at 14-6.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of drum major Mr. Christopher B.,
Okay, quick first half stat analysis here. First downs, Tinora had 7, Liberty Center 3. Tinora 3 rushing, 2 passing, and 2 penalties. Liberty Center 1 rushing first down, 2 by the air. Evan Tiplady was 2 of 4 for 89 yards. 65-yard catch by Irving, and a 24-yard catch by Damian Mays. Tate Slee, 13 carries for 101 yards. And then Sager, 1 run for 1 yard. Butler, 1 carry for 1 yard. Altogether, Liberty Center's offense, 185 yards compared to 105 for Tinora. Liberty Center, 20 plays, averaging 9.2 yards per play. Tinora, 31 plays for the 105 yards, averaging 3.4 yards per play.
Just amazing that didn't translate into first downs for the Tigers, Spike, but
yeah,
we'll take this.
Well, we were a big play. Yeah. Tinora 14, here's the kickoff. Short end over end. That's Mays is going to take that up around the 18-yard line. Straight ahead return. Looks for a cut to the outside. Follows a block. Makes a cut and a twist. Hangs on, battles. And boy, bucks and drives and pounds his way ahead. All the way up to the 48-yard line. A superlative return by Damian Mays.
That was one of those sophomores that is doing a big job of filling in around the crack, Spike.
And boy.
I'm telling you, that was just a well-controlled run, you know. He knew when to burst that speed and shift this way and that way, and just a very nifty return.
Yeah, you on TV5 can probably pick out the blocker to give him the extra cut, and then 5 yards of total battling on his own. So Liberty Center in business, 1st and 10 at their own 47. Here's the give to Slee, met in the backfield, breaks 2 tackles, and battles his way back on a heroic run back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's kind of how that works. You know, they're keying on him. We knew they were going to, and indeed they did. And they kind of had him bottled up there in the first half, but then he popped that one for 85 yards, Spike.
Yep. All right, Liberty Center, Tinora, 4 out of 10 passing for 52 yards. And, of course, Liberty Center, 2 of 4 for 89. We'll get to the Tiger defense here in a moment. All right, 2nd down and 10. Here's Sager in motion. Here is the fake to Slee. Fires upfield, caught by Heflinger, and a great grab, takes a ball, and hangs onto the football. A gain of 14 yards and a Tiger first down.
Boy, what a beautiful strike by that senior 15 quarterback there, Tiplady. I mean, he just stepped into that and just rifled that ball. And as you said, Heflinger made a great grab out there, Spike.
Hey, yeah,
right from the get-go, we've got a passing attack.
Yeah, he's coming out with an arm strength comparable to Brian Babcock from the last 2 years. Now man in motion, Sager coming this way. Now the pitch to Slee. He's got blockers, makes a cut, up inside, stays on his feet, following Weekers, and the cast of hundreds more, all the way down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 8 yards, and the Tigers offense really clicking coming out here in the 3rd period.
Yeah, want to pay special notice to Ryan Sager on that block. He made a critical block, pushing the outside man out so that Slee could break off of that.
Yep, that's the kind of tension that a lot of the players don't get, but very crucial, as you said, to the success of the play. Now the Tigers with a double wing set, Slee the lone setback, Heflinger in motion, gives to Slee. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but piles his way forward, and he's near first down territory. I think there may be a measurement coming up.
Spike, you can just see it. This Tiger offense has a lot of bounce to their walk. You know, they're encouraged. They went in, got some good words from the coaching staff, and they feel good about their first half. So they just can't wait to get their hands on the ball and execute.
Well, the Tigers had the first possession here of the second half, and usually in football, it's so huge to come out in that in the second half, first possession, and really make some noise. And now the Tigers are going to come up about the length of the football from the white stripe to the nose, only inches.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 3rd and very short.
Well, think about that chain gang. That's probably their first time out this season, Spike. And, you know, they come up just a little short for the Tigers, but I think they can do better, and they probably will.
That's right. It's their first game, Jim. That's a good point. It's their first game, too. They're a little rusty. All right, the Tigers come out. Third down and about 2 inches to go. 9:58 remaining third quarter. Tigers lead at 14-6. Hefflinger in motion. Here's the give straight ahead to Slee. Slee bounces off one tackle, and I believe Tinora is going to come up with a big defensive play, and that's going to force the Tigers to look at a fourth and a short 1 yard to go.
Yeah, they had tough defense there. He tried twice on some penetration, but those white shirts were there in mass, and they turned him back. So I think they even maybe lost a couple yards there.
Yeah, about a half a yard loss. They're going to give his forward progress still back across the 30, around inside the 29-yard line.
Enough to measure. Let's see what our chain gang can do. Second time out.
Yeah, I think they've got a long way to go here. Yeah, they're going to be 3/4 of a yard short, 2 feet short. Now the official actually shows maybe a foot, but no doubt Tigers will be going for it again. The chain gang not able to make up, not able to make any adjustments.
Let's think about this next play from scrimmage, Spike. We know how they're keying on Slee. Would you fake it to him and do something else?
Oh yeah, I think that would be the deal. A play action rollout is kind of an option play. Slee, between tackle to tackle, has not had much success against this very stiff Ram defense. So Liberty Center comes out, standard wing set to the right. Hefflinger, the wing back, comes in motion toward the football. He gives straight ahead to Slee. He powers, and it's going to be really close, and I'd like right now to predict we've got a Tiger first down. He had just enough of a push from that Tiger offensive left side.
I think that's the way I call it, too, from this angle, Spike. I believe once the chain gang third time out, there's going to be in Tiger favor here.
Yep, Honacki, number 77.
Big
off that left side along
there
with Weekers and Hesterman. Now they set. Here's the measurement. And yes, it is a Tiger first down. When the chips are down, the Tiger offensive line comes to the forefront, along with that veteran chain gang, made up of down box Jim Wise, the Donut Man, the leader of the chain gang, Mike Man, and of course Andy Miller and Mr. Invisible. All right, double wing set. Tigers in a pass formation. Rolling out. Tip Lady gets rid of the football and picked off.
Yeah. You know, now there's a case of...
No, Ryan, they may be calling that one incomplete.
Oh, they are waving that off. That's a case where Tip Lady seemed to be motioning to the receiver to break it off. He was going to bend it out there and, well, not to flat, but kind of a quick up and out. And he wanted him to go deep, and by that time, here come the pressure, and he couldn't get enough mustard on the ball.
Yeah, and you know, Tip Lady's a gamer. He decided, hey, I'm not going to eat the football, which maybe sometimes is the prevailing wisdom.
Yeah.
But he's a gamer. He's a battler. He decided he was going for it.
Yeah.
Kind of like your old buddy Brett Favre.
Yep, I've heard some stories about him.
Sager motion. Give to Slee coming back up the middle. Not much there. Maybe a yard on the play, so that's going to bring up third and long. Okay, Jim, go ahead.
I was going to say, as the season unfolds, I've got some stories about his baseball prowess as a pitcher.
That would be interesting.
And he's given the baseball coaches, you know, something to chew on from time to time when he's out there on the mound as far as being a gamer goes.
Okay, here we go. 8:42 left, third period. Liberty Center leads at 14-6. We've got a 3rd and 10. Tigers to the line of scrimmage of the wide formation right. Hefflinger in motion. Now they give this pitch to Slee, looking for room to cut it back upfield. And again, the Tinora Rams there to sit right on the Tiger Slee as he tries to get to the outside.
You know, indeed they are, Spike. And imagine as the Rams had their halftime talk there, or whatever you want to call it, they probably were alluding to the fact, you know, we played pretty tough against Slee, but he popped that big one. We're going out. We're not going to let Slee beat us. We're not going to let Slee beat us.
Yep.
So, as you said, from tackle to tackle, I mean, they're trying to just bottle that right up. And so far, they darn near have done it again.
4th and 10. We've got two wideouts to either side. Straight drop. Now sets up the screen. Wow. That time, Jim, is the first time in the history of you and I teaming up this in our 10th year on Tiger football that is the first time I have ever seen the inside screen snuffed out that effectively right at the point of attack.
Yeah, they were truly looking for that, and Hefflinger, number 3, jumped after that ball, but by golly, they were white shirts just pounding on him there.
Yes, he was practically disemboweled. So, Tigers turn the ball over on downs. Tinora with a big defensive stop from their standpoint. They'll take over on their own, we'll call it the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, wide formation to this side. Give to the second back. He's got running room. And the blocker trying to put one on Mays actually got in the way. The ball carrier didn't have the moxie to make a cut and helped bring him down. So a little fortune there for Liberty Center.
Yeah.
Gain of 7 yards.
No question, Spike. If he hadn't run into his own man, then I don't know whether Mays could have flagged him down there. Hesterman coming in hot pursuit, but that just looked like that was going to go for big yards. But they kind of collided there. And oftentimes, that's just enough to...
Now, in this 3-4 scheme the Tigers are playing, you've got to be able to stop that outside stuff with your linebackers. That time they got caught inside. All right, give to the first back through. Liberty Center giving ground very grudgingly. Maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we're going to call it 2 yards to go. Maybe a long yard.
Yeah, I can't tell the Tiger that got up from that, but suffice it to say, the interior of the defensive line put her down, and public address man Jack Kruger's giving it to Kyle Hesterman.
Casey Moeller, now the new Tiger defensive coordinator, along with a lot of other assistants. So Casey working his way into the one of the top coaching positions. Now the quarterback keeper slowed down, and he's going to lean forward, fall ahead with enough for the first down, a gain of a couple.
Seth Weaker's having a bear hug on him as he's going through there, but couldn't keep him from falling forward, which was enough to get her done.
Yeah. Well, and then this is a learning experience. This is the first time the Tigers, of course, they've used it sparingly in the past, kind of a 3-4 or 3-5. But this is something new, and they're working the bugs out. You know, you've got people moving up, stepping back, showing blitzes, doing a little stunting from the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, probably an effort to give that Southmore secondary pretty much a little help back there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
You can't just hang him out to dry. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. You got to do what you can there.
All right. Tigers have Butler, Slee on the inside. Here is play action. Looks to turn it up. Now lost a little looper over there, and that's going to go sailing out of bounds, incomplete. Quarterback not too much touch on the ball on that particular play.
No, nice pressure there by Hesterman again, and another Tiger up there close. Didn't get his number, but boy, you just cannot emphasize that pressure on the quarterback. I don't care if it's a rollout, a drop back, whatever. If you're bothering that guy and he feels your breath, it's gonna have an impact.
Yep. Also on the inside in the linebacker core, number 64, we decided that was Perchlick.
Yeah, Jacob Perchlick.
All right, now a little cross buck heading around the left side. Tigers belly, force that to be belly deep, and right there, stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's a Tiger that almost had him for a 2-3 yard loss back there. Looked like Tate Slee back there.
Honacki in the middle of that. And we've got a Tiger down momentarily. It looks like Tate Slee.
You know, thinking
looks
about
like
him,
maybe just a cramp.
Yep, perhaps. Let's hope that. But as you mentioned, if he hadn't practiced in nigh on to a couple weeks here, he's made a lot of hard effort there for darn near 3 quarters here. Hard effort.
Yep.
Which would tell, you know, on cramping or something like that.
Well, Tigers using a lot of players here during the timeout. Running different. Jacob Howard in there. Along with Joe Bodenbender.
Got some sponsors in there.
All right. Yeah. Yes, let's run through our...
we got to have some pie from...
That's right. That's
Druckers.
Yeah, from Jerry. Okay, we've got a new sponsor on the docket here, Railside Market with Bob Miller. Great service, great food, great cheese, you name it. Bob, if he doesn't have it, he'll get her.
And he's got more experience as a meat cutter than anybody in town.
Absolutely.
I'd stake my reputation on that fight.
All right, we've got the Tiger Shop with Bob and Julie Shaddy. Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry. Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler. KK Collision with Kyle Kern. The Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt. Swanton Welding with the Zeider family. The Dugout, Steve and Catherine Parasini. Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy Hill. Trucker's Paradise, Lynn and Jerry Ripke with her 57 kinds of wonderful homemade pies. Tate Slee coming off the field now, kind of worked that cramp out, I think, and he'll be ready to go next play. Also, the Sky Bank in Liberty Center. Pizzonello's Pizza with Craig and Sherry Myers. The Speece Trailer Court, Rick Speece, one of the original sponsors. B.A. Miller and Sons Trucking with Norma Miller. L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown. All right, third down and 11 for Tinora. Ball at the 41. Drops back to throw, has time. Drops it out there in the flats. Tigers in the chase. And Mays steps up, makes a tackle, but I believe it's enough for a Tinora Ram first down. That time Tinora simply tossed it out there on a little flicker route. And enough to get over the top and ran. Little pitch and catch for the first down.
Yeah, he had just a little seam over here by the sideline, and as you say, nice toss by the Ram quarterback. Put her right on target, Spike, and keeps their drive alive.
Yep, and in this, like I said, I mentioned it earlier, in this formation, simply a matter of the linebackers lining up four abreast, along with the defensive backs four abreast. They've got to learn how to cover, that outside
single coverage on the outside out there.
Low quarterback keeper, and he's going to be tripped up by Hesterman. Gain of about, we'll call it 3 on the play, second down. And Tinora now in Liberty Center territory. Ball resting at the Tiger 42-yard line. Tigers rotating their defensive backs.
Spike, did you give us a time of possession there for the first half?
14 minutes for Tinora, 10 minutes for Liberty Center. All right, second and 7. Ball at the 42. A little draw play, running room, and down to the 35-yard line, very close to a first down. That may be enough. 64. So Tinora on the march.
Yeah.
Liberty Center with the lead, 14-6. 4:28 remaining here, third quarter.
But you're exactly right. Tenora's put together a good ball control possession here, Spike.
The Rams using a lot of time to get that play in. Now they're going to set up with bat spread out wide to the far side, wing back motion to the wide side. We've got a fumble in the backfield. Tinora recovers, but a loss of about 5 yards on the play. That could be critical. That'll make it second down and 15 yards.
Yeah, I see they moved Kyle Hesterman into right defensive end. They moved him up from his linebacking spot, and there's going to be some experimentation, and as the Rams got a bit of a drive going, it's like, what are we going to do? And that was one of the counter moves by the Tigers.
Yeah, good
Remember
point.
him as a defensive end last year, Spike.
Extraordinary.
I don't believe there was any better one in the entire area, and I think he was so honored.
All right, now a double wingback set, lone setback for Tinora, motion to the far side. Here's the give straight ahead, Mick right there. Gain of about 3 on the play, but met heads up by Perchlik, number 64.
Yeah, Jacob Perchlik.
Tigers only giving up 3 yards on the play. Good job there to contain. That'll bring up third down, and we'll call it 12.
Yeah, they are trying to mix things up to give the Tinora offense kind of a blocking headache, if you will, because on this previous play, Hesterman was the left defensive end. So they're flipping him around wherever they want, and we know last year he had about 8 tackles for loss.
All right, now spread wide to this side. Quarterback rolling, fires high. It's caught. Met right there, slammed down. Kaboom! Wow! Boy, where the rubber meets the road, right there.
Number 27.
Yep, number 27, Joe Bodenbender laid a Bodenbender lick on him.
Yes, he did, and that's where he knew he had the sideline on the one side, so he was closing with plenty of muster there.
Yeah, I like the way you say that, Jimmy. All right. We've got an official stopping of the clock. No, it's going to be a Tinora Ram timeout.
Yeah, make it almost 4th and 12, so we've effectively got them stopped here if we can keep them from busting something pretty big. Big pass play here, Spike.
Okay, 2:09 left here in the third quarter. 4th and 12 for the Tinora Rams on the Tiger 32. Now rolling left, has time, sets up, throws short, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, Spike, you said he had time, but he didn't have any too much time.
You're right.
Number 77 bearing down pretty hard on him over there. Joe Honacki shows good speed for a big, tall, rangy 205-pounder.
Hey, that kid is one tough nut. We've got some tough football players on this team.
I think these Tigers are learning a lot here tonight. Doesn't matter whose name's on the jersey when they're out there. You're a Tiger, and you're going to find a way to get it done. And they seem to be playing with that great enthusiasm.
Joe Spicer, number 69, also seeing action for Liberty Center. One of the guys giving the Tigers a little more depth.
All right, they held, and now they've got the ball again.
All right, Liberty Center showing a wide formation to the far side of the field. Here's the give straight ahead. Running room by Sager, and he pounds his way ahead for 5 yards.
Yep, you remember how they were just keying on Slee?
Absolutely.
Just all the time, and they're going to know Rex is going to want to eat the clock and control the game. Good time to mix it up.
Yep.
You know, they're looking for Slee, number 25, but may not just happen all the time. In fact,
all right, Brandon Stacy, the center. Tigers come out. They show the wing set to the short side of the field this side. Here is the give again to Sager. Sager pounding his way ahead, picks up a couple of yards here, and that'll push it to a very convertible 3rd down, and we're going to call it a short 5 yards to go. That offensive line will get set up here. We've got number 64, Perchlick, the guard on the right side. Number 58, Philip Miller, tackle on the right side. And then over on the left,
Honacki is a tackle.
Yeah, Honacki, 77, the tackle. Seth Weekers, the guard, number 54 on that side. Hesterman, tight end on this side.
Yeah. Now
Mays in the backfield, along with Slee. 3rd and 5. They're going to give a little misdirection, and on the little cross buck, Sager's coming back, picks up a yard, but it's going to leave the Tigers short. 4th down and 4 yards to go. 36 seconds remaining here in the 3rd period.
Looks like they're going to kick it. Shoemaker out, or at least the kick formation team is out there.
Yeah.
Formation.
Now, one advantage for Liberty Center. Shoemaker, a good athlete. He's got a lot of run-pass capability here, so never count the Tigers out for a bit of chicanery.
He's got a catcher's arm, too, which tells you he can throw the thing.
Oh, yes. All right, wobbling punt. That's going to be a fair catch called for at the 27-yard line. 28 yards. 33 yards on the punt.
Yeah, West had to jump to flag that one down, and there was some pretty substantial pressure coming up the middle from the Rams, so he did good to get that much leg into it, I think, Spike.
Yeah, and Tinora, of course, they're not going to bite. They're going to look every time for that fake, so only one return man back. So, 5 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Liberty Center leads it 14-6. The difference in the game for the 8-point advantage is a blocked extra point kick by Slee. And, of course, the 2-to-1 touchdown ratio. All right, they fake. Now they pitch it coming around this side. Flag down by Perchlick. Yep. Perchlick had a hold of him. Ramrodding him to the ground, and a loss of 2 yards on the play.
You know, there's such a thing as penetration, but then there's also the more important penetration and being under control. And he was able to latch onto that back there and just basically got her stopped.
Absolutely, precisely. All right. No scoring here in the 3rd quarter. And at the end of the 3rd, Liberty Center still leads it 14-6. Out of the 4th quarter, the Rams come to the line of scrimmage facing a 2nd down and 12. Play action, in trouble. Weekers there, hanging on.
Yes,
Sid
sir.
Wiegers grabbed a hold, Jimmy boy,
Yes,
and he
he has.
wasn't going to let go.
I know, and his buddy Chad McClure was there to kind of clean up, and that's just how you do it, you know.
Oh, baby.
That was
another stellar defensive play and another loss from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's what you need. They wanted to pass, and look at that. They lost 15 yards on that play. I think something like that. They've got them down third down and 22, so that was a key play. Tinora was going to let it hang out on that one, and great pressure there by Wiegers and McClory.
Wow, the defense can afford to do a few different things. They've got the Tinora Rams bottled up. We said it was third down and 22, ball all the way back to the 13-yard line. Now rolling right, looking upfield. Good pass protection, caught in the crowd, and a gain of maybe 10 yards on the play back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And from Liberty Center's standpoint, Jimmy, I think that's just kind of what they wanted to do, make sure they contained.
No, that's good defense there. And again, Chad McClory, number 57, putting pressure on there, driving him to the outside. That quarterback's kind of running for his life back there. And that's not generally when you get your more successful passing. So
That's right. Throwing from the run is a tough thing to do. Now we've got a Tinora Ram down, probably cramp problems. So we've got a timeout down on the field. 10:43 to go. Liberty Center on the strength of two big plays. They lead the Tinora Rams 14-6. Our sponsors, we've got Davis Farm Services in Delden Liberty with Karen Howell. Also Liberty Center Consulting Group with Mark and Jody Bly. Schaefer Truck and RV Sales with Terry and Todd Schaefer. Miller Brother Trucking with Skip Miller. Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender. All right, fourth down and 8 yards to go. The Rams back in punt formation. Tigers have Mays back as the lone return man. Takes it there at the 41, makes a cut, looks for running room. Boy, Jimmy, I tell you what, I think he was in business. He had to break that little cordon right there, and he could have been gone.
Oh, you love that, where he's under control when he's got that ball, when he's just received it, and quick jump here and a quick jump that. Reminds you of a rabbit when the dog's after him, you know.
Great call.
But mostly we love him. He catches the ball. The first one he had, he bobbled a little bit, but he's fielded several chances since then, and some of them quite tough chances, and did him exactly textbook style.
Okay, good call. All right, Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. We've got Hefflinger, wingback, set to the right. Slee, the fullback. And Sagers, the running back, now comes to the wide side, the right side of the field. Here is the give, no play action. And in trouble now, throws it out there. And if there's such a thing as a high school grounding call, that could be it.
Finally. Yeah, he almost didn't. And Tip Lady, there's no shame in eating that ball once in a while. He's got to kind of learn that, but you love the fight in him, you know. He says, nope, you don't have me down, I'm throwing it. But
yeah, Evan never had a chance. I mean, he was corralled right on the snap.
Yeah.
But those are the things that have to be worked out. The blocking assignments and the execution thereof.
And Spike, Tenora's going to be gambling. You know, they want to get their hands on that ball so bad that they'll be doing unorthodox things, and there'll be somebody pop up here and pop up there, and once in a while it'll work for them, but they can also get burned in a big way, as we've seen.
Yeah, you take out that 25-yard fake punt, and the Tigers defense have really done a great job against Tinora all night. Now they give to Sager off the left side, jukes and jives, bounces and pounds, stays on his feet, and rambles his way all the way up across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he had a second and 26, and he got about 10 of that back, didn't he?
Yeah. Picked up about, we'll call it 12 on the play, and now the Tigers have a chance to maybe, if not, even if they don't convert, they've got a chance to pick up some more real estate here. Tinora has got to play containment, and that gives Liberty Center maybe a few more alleys and avenues to exploit. Now we've got a problem on the sideline of Tinora.
Must have been an equipment problem or something. I don't know.
A lot of digging around over there.
Number 15 comes in.
All right, Tigers line up in the standard wing left set. Two tight ends. Play action. Dropping back, now throws deep. He's got a man open. open! Oh, great defensive play!
Yeah.
Irving had the ball come into his hands, but Jim, the ball was tipped by number 10, and that is a very difficult catch for a receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Once that ball has its direction changed even slightly, your hand-eye coordination has to change with it.
Yeah.
Almost impossible. Shoemaker, single return man back. Low line drive, end over end, punt taken there, slowed down by Mays. Tigers fill and held on and tackled right there. Jordan Burdu on the tackle in wide open spaces. Tigers do a good job of containment there. 9:31 to go in the ball game. The Tigers hanging tenaciously on to a 14-6 lead.
Indeed they are, Spike, and I sense a feeling of confidence in this defense. I mean, they're just lining up and smacking them and beginning to believe in each other. You know, whatever position is beside them, hey, I got my spot, you get yours. And I know there's a lot of youth out there. You can go right down the line, and those kids aren't very old playing in that deep secondary.
All right, we'll go over some of those defensive alignments here in a moment. Tigers have Spicer lined up at nose tackle.
24, 3, 27.
I formation, give to the second back. Now a play action fake. Quarterback rolling right. Looks, throws back across the green. Caught. And that's going to be enough for a Tinora first down near midfield. We're going to have a flag somewhere behind the catch, and I don't know what that could possibly be.
It's going to be against the Rams, yeah.
We've had pretty reasonably enough penalty-free football tonight, a few here and there, but well, that's a big penalty.
Yeah.
Now, while they're discussing that and trying to sort it out, let's touch up this defense. Tigers come out in a standard 3-5. Honaki, the weak side defensive end, with Quigley, strong side defensive end. Phil Miller, the nose guard. Now, Schwab backs up Quigley, and Neff and Stacy back up Honaki over there. Spicer and McClory backing up Phil Miller at nose guard, but we've seen a lot of combinations of the above players. We've seen Stacy, we've seen Neff, a lot of McClory, Spicer in there.
Haven't seen much Quigley though, Spike. Is he
88, yeah, that was what they wanted to start with.
Well,
but
he might have come up ill or something, you know.
He wasn't. There was a problem there. He's been sick, and so his action probably has been limited now. All right, first down and 10. Line of scrimmage, little give and go, coming around the outside, running room, slowed down, but down the sidelines. And the Tigers finally corral him out of bounds, but inside Tiger territory at the 40.
Yeah, Weekers and Heffliner finally run him out of territory or along the out of bounds though, but some pretty nice blocking by the Rams to keep him coming, Spike.
Well, and they got it set up right from the go. They ran what I would call a little misdirection. The play was flowing to the far side of the field, and all of a sudden back this way and wide open running room.
Yep, and then some blocks. I mean, doggone it, you got to tip your hat to an excellent block. I mean, you know, you can do all you can as a defensive guy, but by golly, if the guy's got you once in a while, he's got you.
Yeah, 26-yard gain. First and 10, Tinora at the Liberty Center 39-yard line. 9:08 to go. Gibbs straight ahead, running room, and brought down up there by Honaki and Tate Slee.
Yeah.
But not until a gain of about 5 on the play. Tinora, now we're going to call it a gain of 4, excuse me, and the ball rests on the 35-yard line.
Well, Tiger defense has got to find a way to shut them down here if they can, Spike.
Yep, well, Tinora not giving up the fight. This is a veteran team, Jim. Like I said, they're very deep this year. A lot of returning lettermen. All right. Double wing package, motion to the far side of the field. Now give to the second back through and tries to worm his way, and nothing doing there again. Tigers defense rises to the occasion. Tate Slee up on the initial hit. Maybe a yard gain on the play, and now is conditioning becoming a problem? The Tinora Rams have another guy down. All right. We've got an official's timeout. We'll come over or go over some more of the Tigers defense. Inside linebackers, 25 Slee, and number 64 Perchlick. Outside linebacker Hesterman also being used some at defensive end, and number 54 Weekers an outside linebacker. Brandon Butler, number 35, Moose, seeing a lot of action at linebacker. Defensive backs, number 3, Hefflinger, number 27, Joe Bodenbender.
Third and 4 here,
Joe. Line of the scrimmage, 3rd down and 4. Now a little roll by the quarterback to the left, looking for running on a hit, right there. Berto on the first hit of a host of Tiger tacklers. Hefflinger in there.
Yeah. 24, Dan Irving.
Dan Irving in there, and I think Perchlick, number 64, also in on the hit, but it was Berto. One of the backup safeties coming up and laying one on him. A gain of 0 yards.
Yeah, he kind of changed directions when number 9 came flying up there. It's like, okay, instead of going forward, now I'm kind of sliding sideways a little bit. Plenty of inside pursuit there to nail him.
Now, perhaps a bit of maturing there by the Tiger defense. That particular play had hurt Liberty Center earlier in the game. That time, they flowed to the football, made the play. Now a big one here. 7:19 to go in the game. 4th and 4 for Tinora on the Liberty Center 34. Deep pitch to the right. He's gonna make it. He's shot again. There he is. Jordan Berto, a man among men. Another big hit on a loss of yards for Tinora. Liberty Center takes over the football.
Yeah. Hey, they had him playing defensive end on that play there, Spike. They had Hesterman and Berdu at the ends, and that might be a combination we see as these games unfold a little bit, because I don't care how much Berdu weighs, that guy brings it. They got him down as 5'10" and 160, and I'm telling you, he just he took a block and still made the play over there on that last one.
Yeah, some of the other defenders in there, Jacob Howard, number 20, and 24, Irving, also on that Tiger defense. Gives straight ahead to Slee. Slee stays on his feet, rumbles. Look at him break tackles. Look at him drive. Look at him pound. Right up there, Tinora. Take a big bite out of that. A 23-yard gain for Tate Slee. Right into the teeth of perhaps a tiring Tinora Ram defense.
Yeah, he was
7 minutes to go.
He was just going right to him, Spike, and man, we kind of wondered how Tate Slee is. You know, looked like he had a cramp earlier on there, but cramp or no cramp, he says, I'm chugging right along here, and that's a big gainer when they needed it.
That was just like the old Tilda whirl at the circus, buddy. He twisted and turned, continued to bounce up and down, and through the Tinora Ram defense. Now the Tigers with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Rams. Here is the give to Slee. Met in the backfield, not a chance there.
That flag comes in there kind of from the, not the secondary, but the defensive secondary of the Rams. Spike, we don't know what we're going to see as a call here.
All right, let's go back to that Tiger defense. What we've seen so far is these guys, you know, they're very, very much what we thought. Rambling, gambling, now they're learning to flow to the football. And they've got a lot of pieces to the puzzle that we're seeing now that they can plug in. They've got some room.
Oh yeah, well they're finding
maneuver a little.
And they're finding that guys perform in different spots too, Spike, which is, you know, nobody really knows what's going to be the lineup and who's going to be a fit here. And I mean they're working that out, and I'm telling you, they've had a whole string of guys that have come up with big plays across that
exactly.
Across
and sometimes
that defensive
you
line
can't
there.
see that in practice. You can't see it in the scrimmages. But when the Friday night lights come on, baby, it's time to bring the real game to the table. And some of these Tigers have really stepped up.
Exactly.
All right, now 2nd down and 13 yards to go. Here is the give to Hefflinger. Makes a nice cut. Stays on his feet like a tugboat and battles his way back up to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage, for a gain of 3. Tinora still, though, doing a good job of flowing to the football, and that's been one tough assignment for Liberty Center to tackle tonight. Tigers now using a little clock horse. Now we've got the clock stopped. What have we got? Another...
yeah. Either equipment or something. Number 67 for the Rams gets to come out and give his team a little break there. Spike, you talk about experience. This Tiger team being very youthful. I think I read where Rex has only got 9 lettermen coming back.
Yeah.
That is a pretty green team.
Well, a lot of holes to fill, but yet I think we're seeing a giant dike here, and there have been a lot of thumbs stuck in the holes. A real good job of filling in those cracks.
Oh,
Jim.
no question, Spike. No question at all. Those sophomores were waiting for their chance, and under game circumstances have greatly proved that they are equal to the task.
Hey, Tigers come to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 10. Ball at the Tinora 45-yard line, 6:11 to go. Here's the pitch to Slee. Slee's got running room, running straight ahead. Brambles breaks a tackle. Sager, excuse me. Ryan Sager with a powerful burst off the right side. Cut through a big hole behind right tackle. Up in there between Spicer, Perchlick, Miller in that area. Perchlick running in and out at different guards along with Spicer and Weakers. That time they ran to the right side, had a nice hole cut to the outside.
Yeah, that was
and a gain of
a key pickup. Spike gets a very makeable 4th and 2 right there
gain
now.
of 8 yards. We've got Slee, the single setback. Motion this way. Here's the give to Sager. Looks for room. He dives ahead, and he's got the first down.
Yeah, he come off a block there by Hesterman, number 64. Sealed linebacker there, or Perchlick rather, excuse
64.
me.
Well, you got the number.
Yeah.
Hey, we're still learning the numbers, Jimmy.
Yeah.
This is rough.
But a key block there by Jacob Perchlick that, gave just a little room there, and Sager took good advantage of that.
Yeah, and we're seeing now they use Slee as kind of the dummy, if you don't mind the expression.
Yeah.
They've been thinking him the whole game, and that time he was back there.
Yeah, let's call him a decoy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word. In this politically correct world we live in. All right, here's the give straight ahead to Slee. Twists and turns and battles his way down to the 30-yard line, just short of the 30.
Yep.
That'll bring up 2nd down, and we'll call it 8 yards to go.
Clock beginning to be a factor for the Rams. I mean, there's a good 4.5 minutes to go, Spike, but they don't like it on their end of the field here, like the Tigers are trying to shove it down their throat.
You know, Jimmy, and you've made mention of it already, but Evan Tiplady, again, a smooth operator. We have seen absolutely no problems between the center quarterback exchange.
Exactly.
We have seen no problems with the exchanges between the running backs.
Right.
And I think that means a lot, especially to a new quarterback, a new center, and a new offense for the most part.
Yep. Yeah, and they didn't have that decided who was going to be the number 1 quarterback until just not too long ago, Spike. So he's basically thrust in there and says, all right, as of right now, you're the starter. Get in there and make it happen. And that's a tough gig. But, boy, he just has shown he's up to it, whether he's going to stand in there and throw a strike out there to one of his receivers or handle the ball, as you say.
Yep. And look at Jordan Purdue, who is in competition for that job. He's got the gamemanship too to handle the job.
Oh, no question.
But we look at some of the things now he's come in and done on defense. Some of the big plays that he's helped. Over here.
There's got to be a spot for him on this defense. And
the way they're playing like a band of renegades, ruthless, relentless.
Yeah.
These guys can go about 15, 16 deep, and they're going to hurt people. They're going to punish people before it's over.
Well, you like to see him sell out, Spike. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to commit here, and if I get him, it's a big play. If I don't, you got to have my back. And that's the way they play.
Yep. Wing left set. Slee and Brandon Butler, the running back tandem.
Boy, here's
that time, Slee again hitting the backfield. Tinora again coming up with defensive stunts. They're gambling now, too. That makes it a 3rd down and 12. 4 minutes to go on the clock running. Liberty Center 14, Tinora 6. Evan Tiplady from the sideline. Tigers now want to milk that clock. Don't expect Liberty Center to put it up in the air here, which is exactly what they may do.
Well, as good as his passing game has been, I think you go for it maybe.
Sager motion, takes the handoff. Outside block by Perchlik, cuts it up, breaks one of his own. Battle stays on his feet and all the way down to around the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there for the Tigers, gain of about 9 on the play. It'll bring up a 4th down situation.
Spike, you had to love the way he was dancing along the sideline there. He didn't want to get out. He knew you needed to keep that clock running, and he was dancing for a few yards, and he did get 3 or 4 more yards after it was apparent that there was no place for him to go but out of bounds.
Yep. Well, and now, with that extra couple yards that he picked up with that grinding tenacity, Sagers puts the Tigers in a position to possibly convert a big 4th down here.
Well, this is tough for the Rams here. They've got to get a stop or else it's looking a little bleak for them.
Now we're going to get another timeout. I believe Liberty Center timeout.
Yeah, at charge to Liberty. Evidently, they didn't quite understand the play, or they didn't like the way maybe they saw the defensive personnel beginning to take shape out there. Either way, it's a good timeout, and mark that one up on the plus side for a rookie quarterback. If you're not sure that everybody, in that huddle knows what's going on, and let's go to the sideline and talk about it.
All right, 122, pitch deep to Slee, breaks one tackle, runs into a buzzsaw, though, and the Tinora Rams hold.
Yes, they did.
Boy, now there's a guy that's earned his keep tonight, Tate Slee.
Oh, man, how many times has he carried the ball, Spike? We don't have a calculator to be running those stats, but, boy, that guy has put in a long night, but he did the Tigers a lot of good so many times on offense and defense, and of course that big one he popped for an 85-yard touchdown run. He just kind of made the offense happen.
All right, he had 13 first half carries, probably another 13 to 15 here. All right, Tinora with the ball, last chance, 1st and 10 on the Tiger 28. Now rolling right, their own 28. Rolling right, pass caught by Bat. Up across the 40-yard line and a Tinora Ram 1st down. 3:18 to go in the ball game.
Yep, Jacob Perchlik on the stop there, number 64.
All right, 14 to 6, Liberty Center. Tinora now with the last gasp possession. Tigers are going to try to hang on here with this young secondary, but a very volatile and explosive attacking defense. Here's motion coming to this side. Play action. Rolls back. In trouble. Runs away. But Sagarino!
Yeah, pressure was relentless, and those white shirts couldn't hold them out. The play is made. Didn't matter what the receivers were doing here. Looked like number 5 was running a pretty slippery pattern, but those things take time, and the defensive line got her done.
Yep, some of the people in there, McClory, 57, Honaki, 77 among the tacklers. Now wide formation to this side, rolling this way. Now fires high. It's picked up by Irving, down the sideline, at the 30, down to the 20, and the Tigers may have put the final nail in the coffin there.
Yeah, everybody in the stadium knew that the only chance Tinora had was to fill the air with passes, and that secondary, even if they're young, they begin to get their spurs, Spike, and he moved on that ball, and rather than play defense, he says, I got that ball. He stepped into it, made a beautiful interception, and away he goes. Yeah, number 24, Dan Irving.
Deep in the secondary, saw that coming, read the play perfectly, stepped up, and picked it off, and the Tigers now with 2:21 to go. They lead 14 to 6, ball on the Tinora 18-yard line, and I think Tinora may be out of timeouts. Here's the give to Slee, powering ahead off the left side, pounding his way forward for valuable yardage. And the clock, of course, more importantly, continues to run. 2:10 to go. Don't think for a minute, Jimmy, we're going to sit on it too hard. I think Rex Lindgren is looking for the end zone.
Oh, I think if they can do it, they will do it. I believe a lot of questions have been answered here tonight. I mean, we all talked as we began this first game of this edition of Tiger Ball, whether those sophomores could be there and fill it in and so forth, and the secondary being young. Hey, Spike, they've done it. They've come up in a big, big way.
All right, under center, the handoff. Slee again off the left side. Tigers pick up about 2 more down to the 10-yard line. We've got a timeout, and that should be Tenora's last timeout. Of course, as we know, down through the years, I never have been able to count timeouts too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we remember one game against the Blue Streaks.
Got a half a dozen of them, maybe. Hey, under a minute and a half, though, Spike, and the Tigers have got the ball right down there on the 10-yard line, so it's all good if you're a Tiger fan. But no mistakes, you know. You can't have a fumble picked up, so you gotta play ball control. But you just love these Tigers when it appeared as though Tinora was going to maybe get something going, and they did. They had a couple of drives that were time of possession and, you know, really moved the ball against the Tigers. They came up, they stopped them when they needed to, and, of course, they made big plays when they needed to.
All right. The Rams spending, I believe, their last timeout. We'll be back. All right. 3rd down and 2. Ball inside the Ram territory. Get to Slee right side. Takes a hit, twists and spins, and near the first down marker.
I think that is a first down.
Now we're going to get an official's timeout. Clock stopped with 1:16 to go. They're going to call it a 1st and 10.
Yes, sir.
1st and goal down around the 8-yard line. Well, Jimmy, clock now running again, 1:11 and counting. Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. They've got Butler, the running back, over on the left side, and Slee, the fullback. 2 tight end set. Hefflinger, the wingback. Here's the deep pitch to Slee. Tigers want more. Slee cuts it to the outside and breaks and battles through down inside the 5 to the 4. I don't believe they're going to back off. Not yet. Clock running, 44 seconds. 2nd down and goal. Tigers with time for maybe only one more play. We'll see. Will they take a knee, or will they try to give somebody else a chance to get a score in? Tate Slee with 2 Tiger touchdowns tonight. They line up, Slee and Butler in the backfield. Hefflinger, the wingback, over on the left. 2 tight end set. Clock running, 16 seconds. This will be the last play. Under center, tip lady, deep pitch to Slee. Slee going for the end zone. And I believe he's going to come up short, and that should do it here. That should wrap it up from Tiger Stadium. Opening night of the year 2006, and the Liberty Center Tigers, the sophomore loaded team, comes through with a big victory, a couple of big plays, and some really tough defense. Liberty Center hangs on. They put the hammer to Tinora. They win it 14-6.
To get that.
Greats in their day. They're the new stat team here for the Tigers. We'll get a few of the final offensive and defensive stuff here for Liberty Center. Okay, Tate Slee had 30 carries for a total of 148 yards. What a pounding Tate takes after coming off an injury. All right. Tigers were 3 of 8 in the air for 103 yards. So Liberty Center, unofficially, we're looking at a night of about 250 yards total offense. Let's see, Tinora Rams. What have we got here? Just, well, don't even worry about it.
Anyway, Spike, no question about it. This was a tremendous opening win here for the Tigers.
Okay, so 38 yards passing in the second half. Okay, so Tinora being held for the night to 38 and let's see, in the air 50, 52. So just under 100 yards passing for Tinora, and offensively from the ground. I think Liberty Center probably held Tinora both ends of it, passing and throwing here, or passing and running under 100 yards each. A lot of these stats are still being tabulated, so we're not going to try to squeeze everything in here. But a good Tiger job overall tonight. Jim, how do you want to wrap this baby up?
Spike, can you hear me at all? Okay, you can't hear me, so I'm just going to talk here a little bit. Spike, I think it just was a tremendous growth game for the Tigers. All these sophomores that we knew had to step up, that would get their opportunity, I think answered the bell. I think they were just absolutely excellent in wherever they tended to fit in. The coaching staff would continually move people around because you do that during the course of the game. And Tinora got some drives going, so they had to kind of make some changes, move some people around. I mean, it's hard to mention all those super sophomores, if you will, that stepped up toward the end of the game there. Jordan Purdue, and I know he's not a sophomore, but man, we hadn't seen him hardly all night for some reason or other. But man, it was his presence ever felt in a big way. But just a lot of Tigers doing a lot of things right. And I think not only the fans, but the team, everybody's got to be excited about this Tiger football team, Spike.
Yeah, you know, and we saw so many good things. We saw Evan Tiplady show his presence as a very polished quarterback. You know, 98% of the passing offense is gone from last year, receiver and quarterback both. And so tonight, Liberty Center came out and made some big plays. And we've got some sophomores that can catch the ball in traffic, along with Hefflinger, too, as a junior. So Tigers not hurting there, not lacking a bit in big play potential.
Oh, yeah, Damian Mays with his play on the kickoff returns, you know, and special teams kickoff and punt returns. Boy, that guy showed sure hands and able to do a lot of things there. And some of these guys, if you look up and down the program, they've got them listed at 140 pounds. And Landis says they're generous. So, you know, you got some lightweights out there stepping up and making it happen. But that's always been Tiger football, Spike. They find a way to get it done, and they got it done tonight. It's in the win column, and I think they need to feel good. The mistakes, you know, there were some and whatnot, but you just, if they will improve and get better every week like we've seen a lot of Tiger teams do, this is going to be a whale of a football team.
Yeah, and there's going to be more weapons present themselves as the season progresses on the in the offensive backfield and a maturing process, of course, in the passing game. But I think we really have to look to the Tiger defense. Perhaps that was a question mark coming in, but against a veteran Tinora team, a quarterback that was in his second year, and that can make a lot of difference. However, not from the Liberty Center standpoint with Evan Tiplady coming in and doing a superlative job. But the Tiger defense, really the big one here tonight. They swarmed to the ball. They got better as the game went on. Tinora hurt them a little bit early with a few runs, sustaining a couple of drives. But the Tiger defense only got better as the game progressed.
Yeah.
And that is the...
You know, they were going to try some different schemes. Well, through the course of the game, they kept kind of back up there to defensive end where he was so strong last year, And, well, in couple series in there, they had Jordan Perdue as the other defensive end. Man, oh, man, I'd hate to try to get outside of either one of those boys.
All right. Okay, one stat we'll bring out. Tate Slee ended up with 30 carries for 148 yards. Kind of the old expression about a yeoman's job there. The Tinora Rams did a great job of stopping him on a lot of plays. They were keying on him, and I think we'll see Liberty Center's offense mature in the coming weeks and be able to run a lot of things off of that and take advantage of teams overplaying Tate Slee, certainly one of the premier running backs in the Northwest Ohio Athletic League.
Oh, Spike, he gained 1,000 yards last year and scored 15 touchdowns, and obviously that was a game plan not to let Slee beat him.
Yeah.
But he found a way to just about do that.
Yeah. Well, and look at this win. Liberty Center comes in here, and we've talked and talked and talked till it's sickening practically about all the young kids, the underclassmen on the team. Liberty with only 8 seniors. And Tinora comes in with a very veteran squad. They run too deep at a lot of positions. They have a lot of, I don't have the exact number, something like 16 or 17 two-year starters in the lineup. And yet Liberty Center, in this home opener, able to overcome all this adversity.
Yeah.
No one giving Liberty Center any respect, that coming from Coach Barrett. And the Tigers, I think, tonight probably answered a few questions that they may have inside themselves.